MK Azerbaijan.
My name is Hamid Mustafayev. I'm also known as MK Azerbaijan. At the beginning, I was just playing for fun. We also had our own community, and the name itself comes from the name of the community of our own. Day by day, I became more professional in playing competitively, and that's all.
Shout 3, man. Corner switch, yes, finally finds the confirm.
Yep, there it is.
Too easy as hurt.
Remember, it's probably been a long while since Azerbaijan has in fact played Sonya.
Of course. I always say that, I'm a Sonya Blade player. My main character is Sonya Blade, and the reason for that was actually a player called Scar. Now, Scar is a pretty famous player in our Mortal Kombat community. He actually inspired me to play. My expectations are pretty high about this tournament. I think this is the second biggest prize tournament in Mortal Kombat 11's history, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I always try to keep my momentum up. The thing about me is that I never really do care whom am I playing. Either it's a top level player or some random player that I've never heard of. I always try to play my own game. And most of the time, it's a pretty common in CIS community. They have a word, Hamid terapia. What that means is I always try to do my best, even at the last moment. Guys, be prepared for my random down 3 fatal blow. I would become a esports organizer, that's for sure. That's my take. Because, I just love this, man. I really love to play video games competitively. I really love to watch and organize the things. I think, why not? I'm actually stepping forward in that direction. I'm not actually that good with the computers, with the programming and stuff, designing. I really want to learn that part. And maybe in future, I don't know, whatever happens, happens, as Cowboy Bebop says. I actually never seen something like this in a fighting game before, in a fighting game competition before. The organization, the people that really treat to us, like Artyom, you guys as well, you're all good. We all are really satisfied with this. And I think this is gonna be my most memorable moment in the long term, I think. Guys, I actually been through a lot of shit during this week. It was unimaginably really hard for me to get into this place. I actually, at the last days, I actually gave up for real. That I thought that, I'm just gonna not make it. So, but at the end of the day, miracles happen indeed. I'm here today, I'm gonna play tomorrow, and I'm gonna show some really good stuff, that's for sure. Throughout the world right now, it's getting more and more attention in the worldwide. It's actually getting into the way to become a real official sport. I think in Ukraine already esports is an official sport. But in Azerbaijan, we also have a really big organization. We have our own esports federation of Azerbaijan. Recently, Gaming League Azerbaijan, the brand, was created. We have a really big arena, around 200 computers there, a really big screen, a lot of tournaments going on. We're really getting big and we're really going big. So I think in the future years, we're gonna show some of the really good plays in our arena. As I said before, the last days, I actually didn't consider myself to be a part of this tournament due to some, known reasons. But, I actually tried to prepare something new, both for the fun and for the hype, because a lot of people, the viewers, want to see something new from the players. In that case, my choice was Rain, because of the several reasons, obviously. First of all, Rain is one of my favorite characters from Mortal Kombat universe. Second, he plays like a beast in Mortal Kombat 11. Although some people disagree with that, I think he's pretty good. It's not all about the movement. He has really good stuff. And I hope I will be able to show it tomorrow. And yeah, that's for it. Like, everyone knows me as a Sonya player. I'm a day one no holds barred Sonya player. No one actually played first variation Sonya except for me. And I'm gonna show my Sonya as well tomorrow. My Sonya and my Rain is gonna make some hype, that's for sure. When I started to play Mortal Kombat X, I didn't know who to choose. So I started to watch some really high-level plays, and the player who actually made it possible for me was Scar, very well-known American player. He played Demolition Sonya, and when I saw him play with Demolition Sonya, I just fell in love with this character. The way he played, I actually learned a lot of stuff from them. He was like an inspiration to me. So, you know, that's the way I started to play Sonya. I started to play Sonya in Mortal Kombat X, and Mortal Kombat 11 came out. I said, you know, I'm just gonna go with Sonya all the way. Basically, everyone supports me at home. Like, at first, some people really disagree with me in that regard, because, you know, a lot of people think that like esports and playing video games are same things. When you're playing video game, you're just having fun, you're just chilling. But when you're playing a game competitively, it's not fun all the time, you know. You have to learn a lot of stuff. You have to work really hard to be the best, you know, to be one of the best, play in the highest leagues. So at first, you know, there were some problems. Obviously, it happens to everyone, but at the end of the day, you know, they saw my potential in the game and they said, you know, why not? So after that, I did not actually travel as much as other players, because I'm just a new player in the scene. But, you know, I really tried my best in every event. I went to Viennality, won Mortal Kombat X there, defeating two-time champion Riza. And I also went to LCQ in Chicago in March. Unfortunately for me, the COVID situation really didn't help me to play in that tournament. So yeah, I actually had a pretty tough luck when it came to offline tournaments, including this one. It was really hard for me to get here, but still I managed, so yeah. My parents, like especially my mom, was really worried about me, like because of the COVID situation. As you know, the pandemic is happening all around the world. It's very risky to go to the other country in that regard. But still, you know, I actually told my mom, I actually told my uncle that, you know, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna risk it all, because this is a big opportunity for me, you know. I'm one of the 14 players to be invited in this event. Why not to go? And they just literally supported me. At the end of the day, they said that, okay, we're gonna support you, we're right behind you, go and show them your true potential. So that's it. Back in the days, like when the first Mortal Kombat came out, like I was actually born when first Mortal Kombat came out, I think, but still, in my childhood, I played a lot of Mortal Kombat. Obviously not competitively, but it was fun. I was a huge fan of Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, you know, and I was actually part of the community of Mortal Kombat back then. Actually, we had around 3-4 people in that community before, but now we have around 60 to 70 people in our Azerbaijani community, which is really good. And, you know, that's, I don't know, like Mortal Kombat feels like, I don't know, home for me. Like when I play Mortal Kombat, when I meet people from Mortal Kombat community, when I talk to them, I feel like I'm, you know, talking with my family. Like, I don't know how it developed, but, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, like Mortal Kombat just feels my own in that regard. Like, there were some moments when I got really salty, like everyone else. Like, I think every competitor gets salty at some of the moments when they lose. You know, you're getting dismotivated, and at that time, community really helps. Like my friends, they're talking to me all the time saying, you know, don't worry, just take a little break, don't play the game around the week, and you're definitely gonna go back. And that's what happens all the time. Like you lose in a tournament, like everyone loses in a tournament. You lose in a tournament, you know, you're getting dismotivated because you know that you could do better, but you understand that it's your own fault. So you have to have a bit of time to understand that, and eventually you're gonna go back to Mortal Kombat because, you know, we all love this shit. I think like there are specifically 3 characters that dominate the game right now. The first character is a zoner, Cetrion. They add a earthquake move, and you can do armor break as well. You can do everything with Cetrion. Like she can outspace you all the time. With the teleport in it, I think like she's a bit broke right now. The second one is Liu Kang, as I said before. They add command grab into his special moves, which makes him really hard to play against. And the third one is, I think, obviously Jackie, because her rushdown is still really good. You know, it's really hard to deal with Jackie Briggs. Like, it was really hard, like, all the time. Like, whenever you play against Jackie player, you're just hating that player, you know? You're saying to yourself, like, why out of every character, you're just playing this dumb broke shit, man, come on. That's all. Like, I think these 3 characters right now dominate the scene. Like, a lot of people using them for obvious reasons. And yeah, that's all. But there are certainly will be some other characters as well that we're gonna see in the future, because the new patch just dropped out, and there are some of really good potentially strong characters right now. Like back in the day, we had some limits to the special moves. Now we have no limits to special moves. We can choose whatever we want. We can play the character however we want. That's actually really good for the diversity of the game itself. You know, it's just, you know, just taking away all the limits. And I'm probably sure that in the next few months we're gonna see some really good plays by other characters, by very unknown characters. I mean, when it comes to a tier list, like, that's it. A lot of people are just complaining about like the character they play. I see a lot of people complaining about Sonya, but I actually don't complain too much about her. Like many people say she lacks a mid, but still she got a really good mix-up. Now the pokes, you can gel the pokes very easily after the patch. I think she's okay, for example, but I see a lot of people complaining about her. Like, this is actually the same thing with every character. Like, I actually don't believe at tier list that much, because I think that the potential of the character can be, you know, rise up by the player himself. If you love the character, if you put a lot of time into the character, if you believe in your character, you're eventually gonna make it. You're eventually gonna make her really famous. Her or him, doesn't matter, like the character. So yeah. Yeah, it depends actually. Some players just like to play with the strong characters. Like they see a character like Jackie Briggs. I'm pretty sure that most of the people who play Jackie don't have a really good connection with the character itself, you know? Like, I haven't seen anyone say that, you know, I play Jackie just because I love Jackie. They play Jackie because they know she's strong. But in my case, I really want to play a character that I really love. I love playing Rain because I love the character. I love Sonya Blade because Sonya is one of the reasons I play this game competitively. You know, so as I said before, it depends. Like Sonic Fox himself, like when Joker came up, like no one knew how to play him. But Sonic Fox, they just like dominated with Joker, said that, you know, I play this character because the style really fits me and I love the character itself. Like, that's really amazing to see. Like, a lot of players right here also playing like this. Like, I don't know, the Basic or Conqueror, they play the character they love and they're just showing some really good stuff with that. So it's always possible and it really makes you special. I mean, yeah, we're really good friends. Like, especially in the European scene, we're playing each other all the time. We're practicing together, you know, playing a lot of games because, as you know, the CIS players, they cannot play with American players due to the high connection. So yeah, we're just playing together, you know, talking with each other, you know, teaching each other really good stuff about the characters, about the matchups, and also the streams really play a big part in that, because I watch a lot of streamers nowadays, like The Basic, Foxy Grandpa. They're all really good content creators. You know, you should definitely watch them as well. Yeah, so we're just communicating like that, and eventually we became really good friends. I mean, it's not about Mortal Kombat. It's all about the fighting games, I think. Like, fighting game community is getting bigger and bigger every year. Like, you are one of the prime examples of that. Like, we've never had such an event before. Like, WePlay just came here and just dominated the scene. Everyone's watching, everyone's getting hyped for that. And I think this is just a beginning. I think a lot of other companies, a lot of other esports organizations will eventually involve with fighting game community, because, you know, fighting games are really fun to watch, but unfortunately for us, the viewership differs from other competitive games like Dota, Counter-Strike. Unfortunately, we can't even compare ourselves to that games. But I think it's getting in a positive way, you know, it's getting high. Eventually, I think that all fighting games will be in the best position in future. Big esports organizations have to hire a lot of fighting game players. Like, who are the famous teams, esports teams? Like Team Secret, I don't know, Team Liquid, or I don't know, like TSM. They have only few players sponsored when it comes to fighting games. Like Sonic Fox is actually, I don't know what Sonic Fox from. I mean, from who sponsors Sonic Fox, but it's a really big company. Like, but no other player have such a big, you know, contract with a big company, with a big organization. So I think like organizations, actually, esports organizations have a big role in this. I think they have to hire a lot of players, more players. They have to make a lot of events, like high-level events like this one. I think WePlay just made a big step into the fighting game community, into the fighting games. And if there will be more companies, more organizations like this, I think most definitely, like, there will be more views, there will be more interest. This is actually one of the reasons I named myself MK Azerbaijan. Like, I see a person coming to me, yo, MK Azerbaijan, how's it going, man? I'm saying, I'm good, man, thank you. Yo, where are you from, bro? And I was like, come on, man, I'm from Azerbaijan. Like, I'm actually tired of getting these questions, so please, if any one of you watch it, you know, just know that Azerbaijan is the name of the country, and my name literally says that I'm from Azerbaijan, for fuck's sake. I think fatalities and brutalities are kind of special things about the Mortal Kombat, like brutalness of the game, like the way the game plays. Like any other fighting game, it seems like an anime. But when it comes to Mortal Kombat, it's just cutting everyone out, like cutting their head, hands. You know, it's really brutal to watch, but at the same moment, you know that it's just a game, you know. It's not just gonna happen in the real life, obviously. And we are not eager to do that as well in real life, but it's really fun to watch, you know. I guess Rain, but I don't know if he's gonna make any appearances in the future Mortal Kombat movies. But I would really love to become you know, have a special moves with water, you know. Like, Rain is so cool, man. I really wanted to be Rain if I was a Mortal Kombat character. I'm actually an anime guy. I really love to watch animes, and one of my favorite anime characters is Yujiro from Baki the Grappler series. This character is just so fit to this game, man. Like, he's just brutal. He's an alpha male. He's just wants to destroy everyone, and I think he would be a really good addition to that game. But I don't think that he's gonna be in the future games, but I don't know, it would be really cool to see him. Toxicity is everywhere. Like, in every community, I think there are some toxic people that talking some shit. There was actually a 10 versus 10 Europe versus CIS back in the day. We actually won that tournament, and some random Russian guy started to write some racist stuff on Twitch chat, which was not cool at all. Like we said that, you know, this is not associated with us. We are not, you know, we don't like the racism as well. We're not promoting in CIS community. Like this is not just us. Like everyone, like racism is so bad. Racism is not cool. And I think like that's the real part. Like I think those people who write those toxic are not the players, but mostly the viewers, just random viewers who just, I don't know why they do that, to be honest, but they're just doing that. The other thing, the cool thing when I watch the stream is about the representative of a community. Like in this tournament, I saw a lot of Brazilian guys just hopping onto the chat. Wow, that was so, I didn't understand what they wrote, but it was like obvious that they were rooting for their boy Conqueror. Like this was really fun to watch, that seeing that the whole community is together and they're rooting for their boy. Like that is amazing. There are actually some players that really talk, but at the same time, they're not talking in front of us, you know. Like in online, you see players doing this just for fun. You know, I think that there are two types of trash talk. The one is for fun, you're just trash talking for fun. Like there's a guy from Germany, Low Corridor. Like it's evident that, it's obvious that he's doing this for fun. Like he's a cool guy, we're all talking together, but when it comes to competition, when he wins, he starts to teabag us, he starts to trash talk us, and it's actually cool, we don't mind this. But the other type of the trash talk is a toxic trash talk, when you really mean it, when you're just being greedy, or I don't know, just, you know, you're just being toxic, like in short. Like, I don't think that's cool actually. It's really actually fun for the viewers to watch trash talk, you know, and you know, watch the people play who trash talk each other money match. I think it's actually really popular in American scene. You should ask the American players about this question, but in European scene, I don't think that there are many trash talkers in our community. But in American community, I think there were going a lot of trash talks. It ends up with a money match in some famous streamers channel. It's actually really fun to watch, not gonna lie, but for players it's not actually good. It's not actually an enjoyable thing to get trash talk. I don't know, like that's my own point of view. I think the main weakness that I have is that I'm risking a lot. I'm not thinking about anything in a certain situation. I'm just doing it. I don't care if I'm gonna lose, if I'm gonna win. I'm just going all in.
Oh, it's gonna come down, leave. Goes for the overhead. 50-50 grease kick. Beautiful neutral duck from Azerbaijan. Grease kick.
You know, competing always hyping me up. So I really like to play Mortal Kombat, that's all. And I really like to play, I really like to compete. So I always give it a chance, and you know, it's really fun. As I said before, we have our own community in Azerbaijan. Like we are all really close friends. Like we have players, very famous players like Pobratsky, Emil, and Damastir. His real name is Zia. We are always playing together. These guys are the ones that helping me a lot. Like they're teaching me what my mistakes are and what should I do in certain situations. And in that way, they and I, all of us, are developing our own skills, like a community, like a family. Big shout outs to everyone who's supporting me, and big shout outs to our Mortal Kombat Azerbaijan community, especially a very good friend of mine, Pobratsky, who is protecting our nation right now, our country. He is in the military. I hope to see him very soon. So.